morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you are watching this. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and if not, I hope it gets better from here. Let's dive right on in with the channel songs for today. Today we have, this has been bugging me for the past several days actually. Hi Taylor, hi! So first and foremost, the first song we have is, I don't even know how to say this because this word's not allowed on the internet, so I'm gonna spell it. S-E-X by Cheat Codes and Kross Amsterdam. And the other song is Just a Girl by No Doubt. I'm not sure how these relate, but we'll see. Oh, wonderful. I'm glad to hear that, Taylor. Synchronicities, the numbers that I got were 12, 12, 12, 21, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 11, 13, 13, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 13, 31, 0303, 0808, 222, 333, 411, 1010, 0440, 555, 811, 0909. Other synchronicities that I picked up on were Stitch. The name Bailey popped up. Nachos, I don't know if someone's eating that or what. Coral pink, that specific color. And Egypt, as well as the numbers 1441 and 1551. So we'll see how those relate today. Yeah, so hi, welcome in. I'm really glad to hear you're having a good time, Taylor. It's been a rough ride, hasn't it? So yes, let's dive right in. I'm very excited for today. We'll start with the dice. Let's do the astrological house for today. And it looks like we have the third house for communication. So something in the realm of communication. This is also the realm of siblings. So let's see what sign that's in. 7 for Libra. Oh, Libra. You could have a Libra sibling, don't have to. So Libra in the house of communication. Let's pop into some runes. Hello everyone, welcome in. Hi. Okay, I'm trying not to knock everything over on my way over here. So we have, take care. Hello, hi. I hope you're doing well. I have these really fun runes that I just used recently. I'm very excited about them. They're based off of herbs, which I think is really cool. Oh, lovely. A Cancer. We have Libra in the third house here, so we'll see how that relates. So that's the house of communication in Libra, so like balanced communication. Let's see what we get for the herbal runes for today. We have 2 for Hawthorn. Hawthorn and Calendula. Oh, calming. Okay, so Hawthorn is fertility, healing, emotional and spiritual healing, courage, protection, so like boundaries and things of this nature. And then we have the other one, which is Calendula, which is, you know, protection from ill intent, so protection from evil eye. Love that. More healing, vitality, success, truth and honesty, joy and optimism. Oh, beautiful. I love that. So that's really nice to hear. Hi, hello. I usually do collective readings. That's how I work. I'm a collective, like, overarching reader. If you want personal readings though, I offer that at the link in my bio. Feel free to check that out. Just because I don't like putting people's business on the internet. Alright, next up we have the Elder Futhark runes. More details. Let's figure it out. So some communication coming in. Balancing communication. Looks like some boundaries will be set. There'll be some emotional healing on the image as well. Love that. Hi! And somebody just fell. Who is this? There we go. Hello, hello. Okay, so Futhark runes. Let's see. Tell me more. We like our details here. Gebo for gift. Okay, so there's a gift coming in. Gebo and Lagus. Intuition. Whoops. Intuitive gift. A gift of the intuition. So an upgrade. Upgrade in our intuition. Tapping in more. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your likes. I do appreciate it. Okay, so that's very interesting. Let's get into some charms and see what's going on. Let's see, some charms here. Just setting things out of the way. I only have a little bit of space here. Let's see, charms, get some more details. More details on the third house in Libra. Gift of the intuition, boundaries, healing, calming. Beautiful. Okay. Looks like we have, this is the rose quartz. So some healing in the realm of self-love, as well as things like, again, siblings in the third house. So communication, some sort of loving communication, love that. Music seems relevant. Someone here could be in the music industry, you could make music, or you just have some extra messages in music. Let's see what else we have here. We have this little star, so more healing. Some healing coming in as well. We have some spiral thinking, so there may be some negative spiral think that we are dealing with at this time. I see the butterfly though with transformation, so some transformative communication happening as well. And we have the crystal ball charm, so more of that intuition, okay? Some more of that intuition. Okay, so very interesting stuff here. Gift of the intuition, some self-love, music being relevant, communication coming in, balancing communication, healing communication, boundaries being put out in the realm of Libra. Okay, cool. Okay, so for the people who are new here, I'm pulling out these cards. These are my yes, no, maybe cards. Typically, I don't do personal yes, no's. That's not my cup of tea. I don't like putting people's personal business on the internet. I don't really ask for you to do anything for me. I don't need anything. I don't need any money or anything like that. All I ask is that you think your question. Don't put it in the chat. I don't want to know your business. And as I pull for this big collective reading, I will pull out cards like this. They will say yes, no, or maybe. So as you think that question, as I pull it out, that is your answer, okay? That's how I roll. So, let's see. That's just how I do things. What's going on with the collective today, Spirit, in regards to this gift of the intuition, communication, revolving, like a healing, balancing communication? Oh, I love this already. Okay, so if we had a question about breakups or emotional pains, oh, hi, R! The answer is yes, right? If there was a recent breakup or getting together or some type of thing like that, the answer is yes, all right? First and foremost, we are releasing pain, overcoming depression, optimism, forgiveness, and the worst is over. So that's absolutely gorgeous. Love that. Like I said, we had that healing communication coming in that will bring a lot of healing. Hello. Yes, so there was an unhappy home situation, unhappy family, unhappy relationship, that type of thing, right? If you had a question about marriage, family, relationships, the answer is no, okay? I'm sorry if that's not what you want to hear. A pause to relax. Yeah, there's that Libra again, Libra and Aries popping up. So yeah, there's some healing around a broken home coming up. Oh my god, I'm so happy for you, R. I've noticed you've been quiet. I thought maybe you started working. Love it. Tell me more. Yeah, this could have been something that caused, oh, a tower, okay. Tower of good luck, but it stemmed from a lot of disappointment. Okay. Yeah, I keep seeing this tower here and leaving behind disappointment because our luck is shifting. Love this. Healing issues around insecurity. If someone here was asking about becoming pregnant, the answer is no. This is the card of pregnancy. It's in the reversed, okay? I'm not a doctor though, so please go get it checked out. But in regards to the big collective reading, there's some healing around here, some releasing pain around an unhappy home. Could be some infertility issues, does not have to be. Otherwise, it would be disharmony, insecurity, lack of confidence, that type of thing. Please do not spam the chat. As I do these things, I will pull cards out. I don't answer personal yes/no questions. All I ask you to do is think your question, and I will pull things out like this, and whatever that is your answer, okay? That's how I roll. I don't like knowing your personal business. That's not for me. Yeah, there's that tower again. There's that tower again. The answer is no, okay? The answer is no. I surrendered to the storm. Yeah, there's some upheaval. Now, oh, cute, beautiful. The tower's not always a bad thing, right? It could be a sudden job opportunity. It could be, like, I'm trying to think of things. Oh, like proposals, things like that. It usually just means like, big changes. Things that, like, starting a job on night shift, so now your whole schedule changes, you know, that type of thing. But I do see here that there was a huge tower, and that's kind of what we're healing around. Yeah, healing around that. A broken home, disharmony, insecurity, lack of confidence. This tower that's come in either recently or will be coming in. The number 16 jumps out, so it could come around on the 16th, does not have to. I see here as well, we got the world reversed. I can't show her fully because her bits and bobs are out and the internet's weird. But yeah, karmic loops. What I've been working for is already done. Stagnation, disappointment, burdens. Very interesting to see that. If you had a question about will I complete this? Will I complete something? Will I end some type of cycle? The answer is no. Okay? No. Don't be afraid though. That could just mean not yet. Okay? Healing pain around unhappy families, postponed reunions, narrow-mindedness, disapproval, insecurity, lack of confidence, stagnation. The tower comes in, kind of realizing that we've been in stagnation, lack of achievement, and disappointment. Interesting. I love that for you, R. All the love and luck to you, okay? You so deserve it. Thank you. Thank you for the roses. So let's see. Yeah, I keep seeing leaving disappointment behind. Leaving disappointment behind and luck shifting. But this communication, I want to know about this communication that's coming in here. Queen of Wands. We're stepping into our Queen of Wands. If you had a question about starting a new creative project, anything related to the Queen of Wands is like manifestation. So if there's something you're really working towards, if you're glowing up or you want to start something in that regard, this is like the card of beauty, looking really good, optimism, that type of thing. Your answer is yes, especially if it involves being in the spotlight, okay? Yes. So yeah, we're working towards, so we're leaving behind that cycle, that never-ending loop, especially if it involved a mother figure. Does not have to, right? Could be mother figure, baby mama, feminine energy, that type of thing. Does not have to, right? We're leaving behind this insecurity, this lack of growth, that type of thing, and we're moving into our power. The Queen of Wands is the manifestation queen. She's also, you know, confident. She knows what she's doing, okay? This is a big collective reading, okay? I do see, Stephanie, I'm answering your question. This is a collective reading. How I roll is I don't do personals. All I do is I do a big collective reading, and as I pull cards out. And whatever that says is your answer. I don't want to know your business. That's not how I work. Interesting. Hold on a second. Huh. Okay. That's weird. I apparently... Okay. Alright. So I guess I got promoted for... Or I got a restriction just now for promoting a paid service that I don't offer. So that's weird. Whatever. Anywho, some of us are stepping into our vibrant era. That type of thing. Stepping out of a cycle of stagnation and stepping into our power. Let's see. That's so interesting. I've never gotten a restriction before for something I didn't even do. Alright, so we have a chariot here as well as choice. Plans. No obstacles will stop me now. Especially if you're a Cancer. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm promoting right now. There's nothing... I'm not... whatever. So, we have... If you had a question related to moving to somewhere else, right? Moving... how do I explain this? Because it's a victory in regards of making a choice. I mean, it's a victory of sorts, right? No obstacles will stop me now. It's usually a yes. So there's like a maybe leading towards yes. Okay, especially if you're a Cancer or an Aries. Yeah, it seems like we're getting into our vibrant era, getting into our power, and we're having some victories here, especially around plans, choices. Wanderlust. Yeah. That's cool. I love that. This is some really nice energy. Especially if you're working towards a music career. Yeah, so I saw this card come out sideways. Whenever I see cards come out sideways like this, that talks about this is our current energy, right? We go back and forth. And this card specifically relates to burdens. So letting go of carrying all of these sticks. Some days we feel overwhelmed, like we're overloaded, there's too much on our plate, and we're carrying too much. And other days we are letting it go, right? Letting it go. Yeah, duty bound, but other days we're delegating wisely, and then other days we're overburdened and overloaded. This is currently our current energies. And I see that that's working towards our fulfillment, right? Working towards our wishes, our dreams, our goals here. Yeah, so it's like working hard towards something that we want and learning where we need to let things go or perhaps give them to someone else. Interesting. That's so interesting. I wonder why that happened. Commercial disclosure and paid marketing. What? Anyway. Yeah. Making a break for it. We have here the Seven of Swords in reversed. Turning over a new leaf. Coming clean. Interesting. Yeah, it's like maybe we're finally telling people that we're carrying too much. This could be that communication I was talking about, that justice communication, establishing boundaries as well. I'm carrying too much on my plate, and I need to delegate. Yeah, I need things taken off of my plate because they're not making me happy anymore. Yeah, I have no time for myself. I have no time to grow. It's not what I want to do. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. Interesting. That's interesting. I've never been reported before. That's cool. Yeah. Dealing with people who give unsolicited opinions. Yeah. Challenge, standing up for beliefs. Yeah, protection. Like I said, putting up some boundaries here. Boundary setting. Interesting. Lots of fire energy popping up as well. So a lot of like spur of the moment. Yeah, very impulsive choices as well. Impulsive decisions. Yeah, but it's not like it's a bad thing. These are like things we want to do, and we may have to like rearrange our whole schedule, cut some things off, shift things around in order to accommodate it. Oh, you did? That's cool. Gosh, I haven't been there in a long time. I used to live in Georgia. I do not anymore. Let's see. Yeah, dreams, choices, lots and lots of choices. Choices, illusions, fantasy, temptation. Lots of opportunities and options coming in. So like, yeah, there may be a lot to pick from and we're just trying to pick the right one. Interesting. Yeah, it's like we keep going from this red, this fire energy, into this water energy, going back and forth between like impulsivity to being in our emotions about it. That's funny. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, I lived there. I lived in Georgia for many years. Almost my entire high school life was spent in Georgia. It was so muggy. Let's see. We have a star here, so definitely healing. Yeah, healing. So let me cover her bits and bobs. Healing. Some healing here from this procrastination cycle. Lack of inspiration. Uninspired. Oh gosh. The universe shows me that I can have faith in my dreams. Yeah, I did basic training there too. Yeah, it was a mess. Or well, it was over in one state up, but I then spent time down in Georgia as well in my unit. It was awful. It was awful. I'm not built for the heat at all. I don't know why I live here in the South. It's not good for me. But yeah, so we're healing this cycle of not working towards what we actually want to, feeling uninspired, not going towards our dreams. Yeah, I really like this though, because we're having those communications with people and kind of like letting it be known. I'm not happy where I'm at. I'm not doing this. I need things to change. I need things to change here. Yeah, you know. It was an interesting chapter of my life, that's for sure. I have learned that my body literally hates the heat, and I have the hospital trip to prove it. Let's see. Yeah, I remember during basic training, I was one of those people that fainted when I got too hot, even though I'd had water all day. And they kept me in the hospital for like 3 days, and my drill sergeant told everyone I had unalived. I was no longer with us. So when I came back, everybody was shocked that I was alive. It was a really weird, it was an experience. Yeah, the Four of Pentacles. I've heard good things about South California's weather. Four of Pentacles, so holding on to things. Yeah, healing this cycle of holding on to things. And maybe going after things that paid more, even though we didn't necessarily want to do them. So like, yeah, there's definitely a conversation here. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate you guys being here. And yes, if you had a question around budgeting or saving in general, the answer is yes, okay? I need to make sure I pay attention to those. But as I said before, if you're new here, I don't do personal yes/no questions. I don't want to know your business. As I pull for the collective, I will pull out cards like this, and they will say yes or no. That will be your answer, okay? You don't gotta give me anything. I'm not offering a paid anything on here. You just think the question, and the answer will come. That's it. If that's not for you, that's fine. That's just how I roll. The Sun. heading towards our happiness. I shine my light on the world around me and my radiance attracts more success. That Leo energy. So if you had a question around children especially, the answer is yes, okay? Inner child, yeah, confidence, being in the spotlight, that type of thing, being pregnant, that type of thing, that answer is yes. Now, of course, I'm not a health professional. I can't actually tell you if you are or not, so please use your discernment and go to the appropriate professionals. But the cards are saying it's in your favor. Yeah, heading towards our positivity. Heading towards what actually brings, like, happiness to us. Truth as well. So again, like, I keep getting this feeling of like an important phone call, an important conversation where we kind of just come clean and say, hey, I am not actually happy where I'm at, and here's all the reasons why. I don't see it being taken like negatively either. I see it actually being supported. Like, it just feels like a very healing conversation. It doesn't have to be on the phone, but I just, like I said, I get this sense of like a healing conversation. Either having recently happened or going to happen. A decision being made, the Two of Swords. A decision. Yeah, facing your fears. It may be a scary conversation, and there may have been some avoiding this conversation. Very interesting. Yeah, like some real reflection as well, like going in and actually thinking about it. I see here the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man in reverse, though. It's time for a sacred pause. Stillness grants perspective. If you had a question, your answer is yes. Especially if it relates to like a vacation or just taking time off, okay? Yeah, more of that stagnation, impulsiveness, negative patterns, detachment. So there could have been a tendency to avoid conflict, avoid hard conversations for the fear of things going badly, especially if it was with a King of Swords in the reverse, so an unhealed Aquarius. Or this could just be hypercritical mind. Yeah, truth. Not really speaking our truth. Overly cautious. So also some, like, we had that negative spiral think. So someone who thinks a lot of what if scenarios. What if things don't work well? You know, the spiral here. Little stars. What if my dreams don't work out? What if the conversation doesn't really pan out really well? What if it goes all up in smoke? Hypercritical. Yeah. So it's either being afraid of having these conversations or making these decisions because we're afraid of someone reacting this way, or this is how we think things will go, which is not the case here. And even if it did, so what? If you're not happy, let it go where it needs to. Yeah, imbalance with the Temperance here. I know my extremes, now I seek peace. Yeah, imbalance. Clashing, lack of perspective. Hastiness and recklessness in the realm of Jupiter and Sagittarius. Expansion and luck. Travel. Yeah, it's like we want to expand, we want to grow, but we're afraid to bring it up. Yes. Last one here. Last one, and I'll move into the next part. This. The Hierophant. The Hierophant coming up here. I choose which traditions I embrace and how I do it. Yeah. We're used to like conformity, right? Following the status quo, following what has been paved before. Traditional values. Yeah. That's why, because, you know, we've always followed things a very certain way and we want to go against the grain, and that can be burdensome. Like I said, we're like letting go of burdens related to our wish fulfillment here, our happiness. Okay, interesting. Yeah, towards this new job, this new opportunity. Because pentacles don't always mean money. They can also mean like anything in the realm of the material, the 3D, health, wealth, home. Opportunity, books, negotiations. Like I said, talking. There's a conversation here. Open-minded people. Someone who's willing to learn. Yes. So that's kind of like we want to go do something new, and it may be a little bit off the beaten path. So we get kind of afraid to have that conversation because we think it won't be well received. So then we sit and we continue to take these burdens that we don't really want, and it kind of keeps us in this loop of stagnation. Yeah, insecurity, stagnation, not really growing, like discord, but there is healing coming through because of this conversation we're avoiding. Aw. Well, I'm glad that you started doing that now, R, because we could really shoulda, coulda, woulda ourselves into the dirt, you know? And there's no point in doing that, because why would you do that? You can't be mad at past you for not knowing better. They didn't know what you know now, you know? So, I'm gonna get into my Tarot of the Divine next. We've moved past the what is going on. We're gonna get into the why. Thank you, R, for this wonderful, beautiful, beautiful tarot deck. I love it. And I'm feeling it today. Good, I love that, yes. What you want. If you really want to pursue something, pursue it. Yes, it is a beautiful deck. I've wanted it. Now, I know that my throne wish list has only been around since I've started, but I have had this sitting in my wish list online for years. I am a huge fan of mythologies. I'm a huge fan of other cultures. I love blue, you know? I've been wanting this deck so bad. It was the same with the Mythos one, so I'm just so happy I have it now. So thank you again. I'm so happy. Alright, so let's get into why do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit. Beautiful. I really appreciate it. So we have the Eight of Wands. Ooh, the Rainbow Crow. Fast-moving energy coming in. So you need to hear this because a bunch of motivation, new ideas, inspiration, new dreams, a lot of energy is coming in, especially with this new solar eclipse. We're about to step into the actual astrological energy of the year of the Fire Earth Horse. It's coming in. The solar eclipse that's going to come in is going to be in Aquarius. It's popping in. It's going to bring a whole lot of energy. Trust me. We've already had Uranus go direct, so we had this moment of sticking to the status quo, and now we're in for this fresh energy of rebellion. I love it. Rebellion. The full moon was in Leo too, so like this rebellious nature of being in the spotlight, of doing what lights us up inside. Yes, it's gonna be interesting, that's for sure. We have 3 cards that came out. So we have the Four of Swords with Fenrir here. So there's like this a pause happening, a bit of rest. The High Priestess coming up here as well, with following our intuition. We may be, with all this energy coming in, we may feel intuitively called to pause for a second and look at like what we actually want, set our priorities in order, because the Emperor is in control of his life with King Arthur here and that Aries energy. Yes. So even though we have all these big ideas, we may have a bit of a calling to cage the wolf, so to speak, to quiet it for a second and like really think on what we want to do with all this energy, all this beautiful motivation and these ideas, because it'll feel like, oh, I really need to do something right now. It's like, hold on, where do I want to apply this energy? What do I want to do with it? Why else do they need to hear this at this time? That's cute. If I were you, I would look into what your natal chart is and look into what your north node is. That'll tell you what you're aspiring to be in this life. You can do that on astroseek.com. That's astroseek.com. You'll need your birth time and where you were born, and it will tell you everything that was in the stars and aligned at your specific time of birth. And that will actually give you some really scary insight into your life and what your soul's actually here to do. Now, it's not necessarily a strict roadmap, it's more like guidance. Yes, that's astroseek.com. Let me write it down for you real quick. There you go. astroseek.com. That's where you go to get your whole natal birth chart. Okay. You need your birth time and your location of birth if you feel comfortable sharing that. And that will tell you everything you need to know. Thank you for the likes. Let me cover her. So we have the Queen of Pentacles too. So yeah, getting into this energy. So caging that little wolf for a second that wants to just, that's chomping at the bit, wanting to just run out into the wilds, into the woods, so to speak, with all of this beautiful energy, so that we can get a bit more grounded. Not necessarily taking over precautions or being, you know, really cautious. Yes, Astros, I used to get mine from Cafe Astrology, but I switched over to AstroSeek, and it is so much better. So much better. So yes, getting more into this grounded energy. So like, instead of just charging forward, it's more like, okay, I need a plan. I have all this beautiful energy. What do I want to do with it? And how can I make it stable? How can I make that stable? Yeah, like really pouring love into your ideas. Hi. Tell me more on why they need to hear this at this time, Spirit. Oh, goodness. We have two cards here. Aww. So, oh gosh. I'm good. How are you? We have the Nine of Wands here, right? With the, I can't remember her name, but it's the Russian fairy tale, the beautiful, oh, I hate it. It's about her going to Baba Yaga's hut and the skulls lining the fence. Kind of like a little bit of a warning here, having a bit of a guard up. So it's kind of like, yeah, guard up towards our happiness, the Ten of Cups. Interesting. So, yeah, becoming stable, finding a way to protect what we really, really want. Not being too cautious, right? Because you don't want to like sit and be so passive that you let the energy sweep you by. But it's more of like, instead of just rushing in with like with reckless abandon, it's more of, again, that fire earth energy. So figuring out how to move in a more grounded way towards your desires. So taking that energy and making an actionable plan in order to protect what you want. So that would be setting boundaries, not telling people your business, figuring out, like say you're getting a new job, figuring out, okay, do they have, you know, a 401k? Do they have an HSA? Do they have that type of thing? Yeah, because we want to protect ourselves from betrayal here. Because in the past, we could have had people that did this. Now, this is a messed up story. This is from Canada. Goodness gracious, it is a crazy story. But basically, for her, it was her dad, right? This is her father up here, father figure. It doesn't have to be, but like there are people here who maybe in the past you told them your plans and they kind of, yeah, took out the parts that, like, the fingers are so important. They're such delicate, complex, intricate. They're like our main tools. So it's like they really just, yeah, cut it short. Being more protective this time, so that we don't end up like this, you know? Interesting. What an interesting, because we had 10-10 here, so cycles being completed. I've already put my yes/no cards away, friend. But if this relationship is burdensome to you, I do see that leaving. The Knight of Coins, yeah. See how earlier I said we were... You're welcome. Beautiful. So more grounded energy is what your soul is looking for. More grounded energy. So yes, Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, protecting ourselves. Because earlier we had it, where did it go? There it is. Earlier we had it in the reversed. Healing procrastination. Going after things that just gave a good paycheck. This could have been people giving you that advice. Oh, you should work towards this, but it didn't really do anything for you and it caused you more burdens. It made you more depressed. Like protecting ourselves from that and working towards other things. Yes. Because he's upright now, and upright is steady, committed effort. I'll show you. Upright is steady, committed effort, right? Patience, perseverance. Unexpected sources of money or income. Yeah, someone who perseveres reaching towards a goal. Okay. So that's why. So yeah, we're learning how to protect ourselves from people around us who may intentionally or unintentionally like stop us from going after the things that we want. Beautiful. Yeah, leaving behind the mind prison. Leaving behind the mind prison. Now, we do have this Six of Swords here, though, which Six of Swords is usually like leaving something behind, transition. So it's like not leaving. It's like leaving our mind prison, but we're also not leaving something. What are we not leaving? We're working towards leaving this behind. Six of Swords reversed. Interesting. Because I also have the Six of Coins right after that, right? The lady who was nice to bugs. Oh, staying in this energy. So even though we're working towards leaving behind the mind prison, staying in this energy, so staying generous. Staying generous. Interesting. Yeah, a healed Taurus is extremely good with their money while still like living in luxury. They are the Empress. That's literally her card. So yeah, it seems like your specific soul chart is saying it's trying to be the Empress in this life. Period. I love it. Tell me more on why they need to hear this at this time. It's like staying in this generous giving energy as well. Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. The Page of Cups. Yes! They're playing with the moon god over here. That's so cute. And you see the little red string? Fate. Staying close to fate. Feeling that intuitive nudge. Like this little youngster here had no idea that he was playing with the moon deity, right? The deity of fate. Yeah, so it's like staying in that energy, staying in that childlike wonder at the same time. So even though we're working, yeah, so watching out for people who are trying to cut that out. So yeah, okay. An intuitive nudge to protect our borders, to pause, to find a way to move in a more grounded energy, more in control. Yeah, so instead of people coming in and kind of like, oh, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you go, well, that's your opinion and that's great. I'm still doing it. Yeah, and heading off. Climbing up that little ladder, despite it all. Interesting, because the Three of Wands comes after the Two of Wands. That initial, like, choice. Tell me more on why they need to hear this at this time. I've already put my yes/no cards away, so, you know. Oh, interesting. the Queen of Wands. She just came out sideways, right? How I said that we had the Queen of Wands here? Yeah, she's covered. Queen of Wands. Interesting. So some of you may have watched the movie Moana. This is who this card is based off of, right? So in the reverse, she becomes the volcano goddess, right? Wrath, rage, spewing lava and fire, no life to be found. And in the upright, she is a goddess of life, fertility, all these beautiful flowers, right? Absolutely gorgeous, in their power, that type of thing. So moving into that, yes. Heading into that, standing in it. Yes. Interesting. Some cards fell, hold on. So these are important. This one came out sideways, so who's this? The King of Wands, holy flip. What is this? The Phoenix and the Queen of Wands. The masculine and the feminine energies getting on the same page. They're both sideways. Our head and our heart getting on the same page. Oh, that's so cool how that just worked out. The two getting on the same page. And this also came out, the Empress. What? Hold on. The Queen of Wands stepping into her Empress moment. Her head and her heart getting on the same page and becoming the Empress. That's crazy how that just happened. Wow. We had the Emperor already, so the Empress comes out. Yes, this is the, that's literally who this is. Our Lady. That's so cool. So that's the upward, so climbing upward. It's crazy. Climbing upward. That's so cool. I love when that happens. So that's current energy, getting confident in our decisions, moving forward. Doing so will be the inspiring push for other people to stand in their power and to move forward. Because, I mean, if you're over here looking like this, people will be like, well, clearly they did the correct thing. Clearly they, like, did what they're supposed to do. Because they're glowing, they're shining, they're successful, they have what they want, they're happy. So clearly they're doing something correct. Yeah, here's another page, that new job, that new opportunity. Right after that, so getting this on track gets you here. So being confident in our decisions, not needing to prove yourself, and then being comfortable with receiving what you asked for, right? Not necessarily go, 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 gets you this. So that's why we need to hear it, because we're currently working on this. We've started, and we're still learning how to get there. There's that Justice card that I mentioned earlier. Conversation involving justice. 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 Last one on why they need to hear this. I love when the cards add up like that. That's so cool. It blows me away too, and I've been doing this for too long. What? Oh my goodness. Now the cards are slipping all over the place. Last one on why they need to hear this at this time, Spirit. Like, I see all these cards in the background, like undercurrents. We got the Nine of Pentacles. Wow, what an energy. The Nine of Pentacles, being surrounded by all your abundance. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, that leads to the fairness, the justice, and being surrounded by your abundance. With that little, like, you know how in the original, well, not everyone does, but in the original Nine of Pentacles, the bird is on the person's arm and they're blindfolded. These two are like looking at each other. So like you and Spirit would be tight, surrounded by all that abundance. That's cool. It's like tuning into your spiritual team, to your inner self, to your inner knowing, and really listening, and it surrounds you with all that beautiful, like exactly what you asked for. That's so cool. So we have our what, we have our why. Let's get into what you should do about it. And I'm gonna use this to make those. Someone sent me the big version and I've been so excited because this is another one that I have wanted for forever, and I've had the mini version, but now I have the big one and I'm so happy. Surrounded by beautiful things. Okay, so, oh, they're so pretty. Oh my god. I'm gonna lose my mind. So, what do they need to do about it, Spirit? Because like the energy's coming in and we're being told, okay, pause for a second. Pause and get our defenses in order. Remain cautious, but not so cautious we don't do anything, right? Get into that confident energy. Okay. What do they need to do about it, Spirit? Oh, that was quick. The Empress! The Empress comes out again. So again, the Empress is all about sitting in your feminine energy. It's about pausing, being able to receive. Yes, so this is the time to take care of yourself. It's the time to slow down. It's the time to allow yourself to be present, right? We're too much in our masculine energy at this time. We need to be a bit more feminine. Getting into the intuitive. Not being so in our feminine that we're passive, right? As I said, but just taking a moment and allowing ourselves to receive. It's okay to pause. It's okay to go a little slow. Thank you for the follow. That's absolutely fine. Tell me more on what they need to do about it. The Six of Cups with Mnemosyne, the goddess of memories. I've heard a lot of people are quitting smoking, vaping, and the like recently. Yeah, it really is huge, right? So the goddess of memories. This is like childhood memories, things that light up your inner self. That would be beautiful to do for your Empress energy. Getting into the hobbies, habits, and practices that like really make you feel good. Yeah, put you in that Empress energy so that we're not over here constantly worrying about this, worrying about that. Oh, thank you, Art. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. Getting more into our playful energy. I feel like that'll help you decide too, because you'll be coming at it from a much more grounded space, you know? We have the Strength here as well with Atlas. So yeah, like just the Strength is like quieting the inner parasite. Yeah, that inner beast. I feel bad because like Fenrir did not deserve this, but like quieting the inner wolf that is a bit it operates in the old energies, the ones that used to keep us safe but are now kind of harmful. That's kind of what the Strength card represents. It's quieting. Someone here may have a speech impediment. I don't know why I keep stuttering. But yeah, like having that strength, going back, looking at those things, and allowing ourselves to sit in that energy. Yes! See, because we're still manifesting with Hecate here. We're still manifesting. Geez, these are some big cards, by the way, because like the Empress, Strength, and Magician are major arcana cards, which are huge life changes. So it's like maturing, it's tapping into our inner child energy, learning how to navigate through our more shadow tendencies while still actively manifesting. Because there's something people don't talk about in the manifestation scene, in the going after your goals, and that's in the they say that you can't ever have a bad day. You can't ever have bad emotions. Bad is subjective. But like, they're like, you can't ever, I don't know, you can't ever be sad for a day. You can't ever be frustrated. You know, you can still bring things into your life while having a hard time, you know? You don't have to toxic positive your way out of it. You don't got a spiritual bypass. You can have a bad day. That's fine. All right? We're not on this earth to kumbaya our way out of our problems. We're allowed to have feelings. It's part of being a person. Now, you don't want to let it rule over you, of course, but you're allowed to have that space to just be upset. You know? Be like, that was dumb. They're saying, like, yeah, even though we want to jump right in with all this beautiful energy, we will have to, like, take a moment to figure out how to proceed, to protect ourselves from our own shadow energies, to protect ourselves from other people trying to pick at our shadow energies, and help us to move forward in a more grounded way. So we're not coming after it. Yeah, we're not coming after it in this desperate chasing energy. Because no. So the thing about chasing things is being chased is scary, right? If you're always chasing something, it'll always be unobtainable. Because you're giving off the energy that you can't obtain it. You always have to run after it. You have to be able to do both, right? You get up, you go after the thing, but you also have to be comfortable receiving the thing, you know? You have to let things come to you as well. Because it's funny, you chase and you chase and you chase, and then when you stop and you go, actually I don't really care, that's when the thing turns around and comes back. Isn't that funny? It's so weird. The King of Swords. Yes, so they want you to get, so remember how I said we had this hypercritical tendency here? This hypercritical tendency. The upright, the King of Swords is entirely different. You can see it all right here. Structured, routine, intelligent, rational, very logical, honest, beautiful energy here. Head over heart. They make balanced judgments. So that's kind of, yeah, what I want. What's me? That's kind of the energy they want you to get in here with Uranus. Yeah. Realizing that you can draw those things in. It doesn't have to be this big. Like, they want you to be more balanced in your approach. That's all. We don't gotta use our brain to pick apart all the reasons why we can't obtain the thing, you know? Hi, Prina baby. Yes! Okay, as you're doing this, remember to celebrate yourself along the way. Even if you have not obtained whatever you're looking for yet, it's important for your mental health and for your manifestation journey, right? Because again, we're going after what we want and we need to heal around this. It is important to recognize your progress as you go. Even if you're not at the destination yet, celebrate each, like, it's important to have those small goals so that when you do hit them, you are still celebrating yourself along the way. So you're not constantly beating yourself up, okay? And yes, the tower, okay? The tower with Poseidon here. Interesting. Clarify the tower, because the tower is like huge upheavals, sudden shifts. Not always a bad thing. It's more like embodying the storm. Oh, Temperance. Okay, so we have Artemis here. So we have Poseidon and Artemis. So learning how to navigate the storm. So recognizing that when things do happen, when stuff does change, it doesn't always mean that you should hop ship. It doesn't always mean that you are failing. It means that things are just different, okay? Yeah, don't be afraid to pivot. So if things are not working, like here with the relieving ourselves of burdens, don't be afraid to drop it. Okay? Don't be afraid to delegate it. Don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid of those conversations. It's okay to be in the storm, because storms are necessary. These cards are so sleepy. Yeah, we have that Four of Swords here with Hypnos. Yeah, we have this restless energy. So if I put it as what to do about it, right? We have this intuitive call to pause. And then here we have this antsy energy. So it's like, it's okay to pause. even though we're feeling antsy and restless, but not to rest on our laurels for too long. Sorry. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. And we have the Queen of Cups here with Phoebe. Yeah, try not to overgive as well. So when we do, yeah, that will keep us from this 10 of Wands energy as well. So like even if we're feeling restless, even if we're feeling antsy, it's not a call to do more. No. It's not a call to do more. It's not a call to throw more energy into it. No. Interesting. Yeah, so if you have to have a hard conversation, do so. Don't be afraid to have hard conversations. People often, you will recognize that there are people in your life who can actually handle hard conversations. We have the 5 of Pentacles here. Why is this here? Why is the Goddess of Suffering here? Spirit, can you clarify 5 of Pentacles? Why is she here? In the what to do about it? Why is this here? Clarify the 5 of Pentacles, please. Thank you. The King of Wands. Okay. Even when we're going through hard times, you're the King of Wands. Okay? It's not the time to prove yourself. Alright? It's not the time to tell everyone you're the King of Wands. No, you're still the King of Wands even when you're going through things, okay? That's something we kind of forget, because remember, we're currently in this energy. We're currently trying to figure this out. Our Queen and King of Wands stepping into our Empress, right? You don't have to prove yourself. Yeah, just because things may be difficult at times does not mean, even if people come at you and they offer resistance or they challenge what you're thinking, that is not the time to sit here and get defensive and meet them where they're at and tell them all the reasons why you do deserve it and explain yourself. You don't need to do that. You just keep moving forward, keep it pushing, leave their opinions where they're at. They're just opinions, they're not fact. Sideways, the 9 of Pentacles. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, that helps you head towards this, right? Because we're here and then we're here. when we stoop to other people, and there's that Queen of Wands again, right after that. That is so funny. So that's, and they literally, I don't even, why am I here? What in the world? So when we stop feeling like we have to prove ourselves, right? I'm the one in charge here. You don't get to tell me what to do, that type of thing, right? When we step out of that and we start just moving forward, and we stop worrying about this, and we're going, no one ever respects me, no one listens to me. Well, stop being in the room with them then, you know? Then we move into this, because we're no longer listening. We're no longer worrying about it. We're off in our own thing, doing our own thing. Then we get into our Queen of Wands. We're now confident about it, right? Now we can feel confident and manifest our stuff, and then the Justice comes in. Balancing the scales, right? You don't gotta prove yourself. You don't gotta do that. You don't gotta do all that. That's so funny. And the light turned off. That's funny. Last one. Thank you for the follow and the like. 7. Interesting. The light keeps shutting off. There's the Emperor card. So, let me just fix this over here. There. We have the Emperor come out, and the Star card, and then we have the Chariot. Interesting. So we step into our confidence, the balancing of the scales. We step into our Justice. That leads us to being the Emperor of our life, actually having control of our life here. That leads to our healing, right? And that leads us towards this Chariot, right? towards this victory. Let me put them correctly in here, because that's the little journey here as we navigate through this. That's the little journey. That Knight of Pentacles. Isn't that interesting? That leads us to the victory. Is this little moment of learning how to just stand on our own, not worry about other people's opinions, and move forward and be confident in our own decisions. Take back our power, heal that, and it leads to our little victory lap. That's so cool. I love that. Yay! So, I'm being called to pull in advice, getting into the advice oracle cards. Before I do that though, I like to do a recap for anybody who did not make the live. So all I ask, I don't really ask you to do anything, you don't have to give me anything. Just ask for a moment of your patience as I do this. And I will jump straight into it, okay? So that's the recap. I'm going to get into the oracle cards and release you to the wilds. Thank you for the donuts. Thank you. Let's see. I am feeling, I'm gonna pull this out. Normally I do the daily advice with this one, but she really wanted to be involved on here today. I was gonna leave her over on my table, but I felt really strongly that I had to bring her out today, so I'm gonna listen to that. So let's see. I just realized I forgot to put the time down for when the recap happens. Oh no. Oh well. That's okay. So, it is my intention as always that if you see my face, your burdens will be lifted. I am the campfire that you rest at before you go face the final boss, right? So that's what my intention is here. So Spirit, let's soothe their anxieties and ease their fears. Help give them the guidance and clarity that they need in order to proceed on their path. Thank you. Some closing advice from my collective here regarding miscommunication in the realm of Libra. Soul's Voyage. Embrace your journey between lives, understanding it shapes your current experience or existence. Interesting. So this healing journey that you've been on, there's also this feeling of shoulda, coulda, woulda, as we explored earlier. I get this feeling that if you are on this path, we need to recognize that we have to work through karma from past lives and from our past. We have to work through those things in order to get what we want. So there's no reason to be like, oh, I should have done it this way. Oh, I'm so upset that I chose things wrong. Give yourself grace. You can't be mad at past you for not knowing what the future you knows, or the current you knows, okay? Give yourself that grace as you go. This is part of the journey, part of the experience. It was important for you to learn these lessons in order to work through this to get to where you want to go. Mind over matter. Your thoughts have the power to reshape your reality. Use them wisely. Yep, there's that King of Swords. There's that King of Swords. So again, as you go, right, as you continue forward, this is the time to not shoulda, coulda, woulda yourself into the ground and to focus your thoughts on other things. Thank you. Yes, keep your mind focused. We don't need to go down the spiral things. And if you do, it's okay. It's okay if it happens every now and again. We're not going to immediately stop doing it. It takes time and practice. But every time you do manage to catch yourself, return to center, okay? Inner stillness. Cultivate inner stillness. It is the key to deeper understanding. So again, when you do have those moments where that does creep up, where you do start having that issue, that is the time to return to center. So pause, reflect, do the things that calm you down, and that will help you. That'll help you pull you out of those negative tendencies that hypercritical energy. Tell me more on, more closing advice for my collective here, Spirit. Goodness, that was crazy. More closing advice for my collective here today. Interesting. Soul's calling. Listen to your soul's calling. It guides you towards your true purpose. So again, you see how her eyes are closed and she's proceeding forward? You'll get that intuitive nudge on where to go and what to do. Yes, follow it. Follow it. Some more closing advice for my collective here today, Spirit, please. The language of the world. Understand the signs of the universe, they guide you on your path. Yeah. This would be, remember how I said it before with that 9 of Pentacles, that it looked like you and your spiritual team, your inner self, were looking at each other. So this would be cultivating that inner language with your spiritual team. So it would be like, show me this if I'm on the right path. For example, you could say, show me a cardinal if I'm on the right path. And then see if a cardinal shows up. You can be crazy with it. You can be like, show me a chimera, show me a griffin, show me, like, it doesn't always have to be like something that you could look out and see at a regular park. It could be something crazy. Spirit will find a way. The power of now. Yeah, oh, the music here. Play a specific song for me, right? If I'm on the right path, right? You can do that. It's called shuffle-mancy, right? You can do that. Spirit will talk to you with songs. They know how technology works, okay? The power of now. There is immense power in living in the present moment. So yes, more of that mind over matter, using your mind for better things. So as you're going forward and you get that restless energy, that's not that time to get into this chasing energy. It's not the time to go, okay, well, what do I need to do to make it faster? No. That's the time to ground into the now, because the now is where your power is. Spending all of your time in the future means you're never going to get there because you're not in the now. In order to get to the future, you have to be in the present. You know what I mean? So this is the time where you build those habits, where you change those thought patterns so that in the future, you don't have to worry about it as much. This is the time where you're building that to come to fruition. If that makes sense. To get to the end of the journey, you gotta walk the journey, you know what I mean? Yeah, quantum you. Harness the power of quantum physics to manifest the life you desire. Again, quantum physics. It's more of the recognizing that every choice you make in this moment, even if it's just well, man, I really feel like crap and I'm just gonna take a me day, that's still important. You know, it's important towards taking you where you wanna go. That helps you get into alignment with your desires. Instead of sitting in a desperation, it's not here yet, how can I make it come faster? It's more of a, okay, well, what can I do right now? Maybe it's time for me to rest. Maybe there's something I need to learn at this time. Yes! It is a beautiful, shuffle-mancy is a beautiful way to speak with your spirit guides. If you're someone who's more, say you're Christian, bibliomancy is also really good. It doesn't have to be Christian. It just means taking a book, opening to a random page and reading whatever's on the set paper. That's also perfectly fine. Some people do it with the Bible, some people do it with random books, but like finding a way to cultivate that inner language with your inner self, with your spiritual team, with the person, the deity that you associate with, are all perfectly good avenues, right? It doesn't always have to be numbers. Inner doorway. Open the door within and let life's circumstances pass through you. Yes. If music is what works for you, use it. Okay? I let them talk to me through music too. And they be wild sometimes. But yes, this talks about when life happens, that it's okay to have your emotions. It's okay to feel them, but you don't have to live there. You know, sometimes things will happen. We'll lose a job that we really liked and we'll be like, why? What was wrong with me? No. It had nothing to do with you being the problem, okay? It wasn't, this was when it was supposed to end, okay? That's okay. It sucks, yes, but better comes along. In order for better to come along, you gotta leave behind the other thing, you know? Thank you. Yeah, breaking the habit. Choose who you want to be. Break free from past habits and beliefs. So there's more of that. Anytime we get into that spiral think, right? This is the time of learning how to break those habits. Okay? Having those conversations, even if they're scary. Not avoiding conflict. Conflict's not always... If you cannot have an honest discussion with someone, you don't need to be talking to them, period, okay? There's no tiptoeing around it. If you really cannot speak to someone and tell them your issues, then you don't need to be around that person. Doesn't matter who they are, because you're not safe expressing yourself. There's no point, okay? In healthy relationships, whether romantic or not, you should be able to speak up and express yourself when things aren't working. And most healthy people are capable of having those conversations and correcting behavior if need be, right? Yes, they do. It's not always the person's gonna throw a huge fit. And just because someone's upset that there's a problem does not mean that's your responsibility to fix either, okay? You're not a bad person for having an issue. No, despite what someone told you once upon a time, telling you that it's your fault for having a problem. No. Goodness gracious. Yeah, that's just chaotic energy being sent your way, where they were just deflecting from the part they played. But we're not going to tap into that chaotic energy. Yeah. Sacred space. Your body's a sacred space. Treat it with love and respect. So again, when we get restless, when we get antsy, like it's just repeating itself at this point, but when we get antsy and we get restless, that's the time to rest. It is not the time to do more. Okay? Just because we're impatient does not mean we need to break our own back to make things come faster. It won't happen. No. Yeah. Silence speaks. In silence, find the deep wisdom of your being. Yes, that's the time to rest. That's the time to rest. That's the time to calm down a little bit, slow it down, so that you can actually hear yourself. Because a lot of times your intuition is trying to tell you something, but you're too busy trying to hurry things along that you miss the message, you miss the point. An untethered soul. Free yourself from limiting beliefs. Allow yourself to soar, or allow your spirit to soar. That releases you from that mental prison and allows you to fly. Oh, cute. I love it. And then last one, cosmic cycle. Understand the cyclic nature of existence. It gives perspective to your experiences. So what comes up must come down, right? Where there is a beginning, there is an end. It's nothing to fear, right? Because when something ends, something new must begin. And if you are in the down, you will eventually be in the up. That's how it works. It makes things a lot less painful. It really does. When you're like, okay, I'm going through a bit of a hard time. That means that there will be a good time. Yeah, exactly. How will I know what I think until I see what I say? Yes, I like that. Yeah. So I really like that. Remember that things are always in a cycle. Everything is in a cycle. Karma's in a cycle. If there's bad karma, there's good karma. If there's an up, there's a down. If there's a good, there's a bad, right? That doesn't mean you need to freak out and be like, oh my God, when's the bad gonna hit? No. That's not what we're here for, right? It's when we are in the harder times, remember that there is an easier time just down the road, okay? It's going to happen eventually. It's gonna happen. It has to. It must. It always will. That's how nature works. If it didn't, it wouldn't make sense because it wouldn't be following the laws of the universe, you know? So, that's all I have for you today. I hope that it was helpful. Thank you for your time and your energy for choosing me to be your reader for today. If you are interested in a personal reading, I offer those at the link in my bio. Please feel free to check it out. If you're watching this from the YouTube, when I post it later, that link will be in the description box down below. I am probably going to do the Q&A live for celebrating 1,000 followers, probably on Friday, I think. Friday feels good to me. I'll schedule that and put it up there. I'm also working on a Patreon to kind of, I've been thinking it would be fun to do things like solar eclipse readings, beginning of zodiac season readings, and I don't know, maybe answer questions like doing videos on witchcraft and stuff like that, and seeing just what the people want. But I've been thinking about it and getting things going. Yeah, I wanted to celebrate getting 1,000 followers, and the best way I can think of to do that currently is a Q&A. So I've been trying to figure out when that works in my schedule, and I'm thinking this Friday will be good. So yeah, feel free to check that out. I'll post that when I'm able to figure out how to schedule that. But yeah, so yes. Feel free to check those things out, see if I vibe with you. If I do not, this is the last time I see you. Thank you again for being here, for choosing to be your reader. I wish you so much love, luck, joy, abundance, healing, prosperity along your journey. Please remember that life is an ever-crooked path and you're never off of it, okay? If you have chosen to follow me and you do like my vibe, thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. You too are.